Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Flagrant Talk sports podcast. It's me, Zay, here with the GOAT co-host, Mr. Moses Famino.
Thank you, sir. What's going on, everybody?
And we got some big news. In the middle of the night, Mr. James Harden got traded a few days ago upon when you guys will be seeing this. The official trade, the Sixers sent James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philip Petrusev, who ended up being traded to the Kings after the fact, to the Los Angeles Clippers, the team that he was very adamant on joining. The Clippers gave up Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, KJ Martin, a 2028 unprotected first, along with 2 seconds and a 2029 pick swap. And then the Thunder were also involved in some draft picks of this deal. The Clippers sent their 2027 first pick swap to OKC, and that cleared the way for the Thunder to move a protected 26 first-round pick to the Sixers. Lots of draft stuff, but ultimately the big thing is James Harden is a member of the Los Angeles Clippers. Officially. So in this video, we'll break it down. We'll talk about it a little bit. What's this mean for the Sixers, for the Clippers, and so on and so forth. Mo, right out the gate, what do you think?
James Harden's going home. He's going back to LA. He grew up in the area. He's clearly excited to be off the 76ers after all of the things he was saying about Daryl Morey and all that stuff. But love the deal for the Clippers, I think, because they didn't give up Terrence Mann, who, when I originally saw the trade, because it took a little while for the details to come out, I was like, oh, he's definitely gone. Like, there's no way he's not. But managed to work their way around that, give up a little bit more depth to tack on James Harden, and gained a little bit. PJ Tucker going to fit into their lineup, play around with them. So I like it, but I personally have expressed my opinions on it, and I wouldn't have. If I'm a Clippers fan, I'm excited, but I'm also quite worried because James Harden has built this reputation of joining teams, super teams, and it's supposed to be all rainbows and lollipops, and it's not. So only time will tell of how good of a deal this is going to be, but on paper, I'm a big fan.
Yeah. The exact way I would say this in terms of talking about the Clippers, I am cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. Like, in terms of the objective adding of James Harden, they didn't, as you said, Terrence Mann was the big one that the Sixers wanted. Didn't give him up. Not only that, you didn't even give up Norman Powell, who was the other guy who was talked about a ton. So you kept Mann and Powell. You lose Batum. It's a little bit of a loss, especially when the Clippers like to run a little small ball. Not that bad.
It's the fourth quarter yelling, why the Batum in?
Which is so crazy.
Which is crazy because I don't think he's not bad, bro.
No, like he's not, and he was a GOAT with the Blazers.
Yeah.
Rocco, the loss of him, he was never, again, not a player who's bad, but he was an amazing 3-and-D piece in Portland.
Yeah.
And never really had that impact in LA. Again, not saying he was bad, just, wasn't what I think they expected when they added him.
In production, for sure.
Yes. Marcus Morris is a tough loss, but PJ Tucker basically fills that same role.
Yep.
So I almost count that as a wash.
Yeah.
And I know PJ Tucker's been a little spotty from 3 as of recent. I'd probably prefer PJ anyways.
Yeah.
It's 50-50, but I would probably lean Tucker. The loss of KJ Martin, tough. You're losing a younger piece and the draft picks, but you have to win now.
Yeah. Just a quick one. They've traded a young piece before the Clippers, and he ended up turning out to be a pretty good player. I don't know if KJ Martin's gonna be on that level, but just a little bit of worry there for Clippers fans. Maybe a little deja vu,
PTSD.
hoping doesn't come about. But
yeah. I think it's just really interesting because the Clippers, like, they needed to make a move almost, and them not having to give up Man or Powell,
huge.
I would take this deal most times, even if with the baggage that has kind of come from Harden.
Yeah.
But as we kind of talked about, like, Paul George has been playing at like an all-star level, which has been great. We know what Kawhi can do. But the adding of Harden and what he can do, he led the league in assists last year. The playmaking could be really good. Like, the Clippers have looked solid to start this year.
Yeah.
And them having Man and Powell and all that, I really like it. I like the move.
No, for sure. And video of Harden walking in the locker room, Russ greeting him, the vibes look good. That made me happy as a Oklahoma City Thunder fan, a second team fan, being from Spokane. Like, that team, him, KD, Harden, those are my boys back in the day. So it's fun to see them back. And gives them another guy that can handle the ball outside of Russ. Russ has been that guy, but obviously, PG can, Kawhi can. This gives them another look on offense, gives them different things that they can run. It's going to be exciting to see what combinations they come up with.
Yeah.
They're very, what's the word I'm looking for? Versatile, I think, now with what they can do. So
yeah, I totally agree. I think, like, the league has made so many big moves. The Bucks made their big moves. The Celtics made their big moves. The Lakers work to get better. The Nuggets aren't going anywhere. The Suns made their big move. So I think for the Clippers, it's like, it's now or never. If they don't win a title in this year, or, like, Kawhi and PG will probably opt in next season, but the clock is ticking. Like, they have to win one now.
Yeah.
So we talked about the Clippers, but on the flip side, the 76ers, it's weird because, like, it's hard to evaluate this because they had to trade him.
Yeah.
Like, I know people were saying, like, I expected him to play for Philadelphia again this season at one point. I just couldn't see it. He called Daryl Morey a liar. He said being, their relationship is like a divorce and, like, there's no mending it. And it like, all this stuff where he's going to, like, strip clubs, having people chant Daryl Morey's a liar. Like,
just insane, bro.
How do you come back from that?
Yeah.
Like, what is the... So, Morey is kind of known for taking his time to, like, really get a good deal. I kind of like him just being like, listen, we've seen Maxey. GTFO.
Yep. We're good, bro.
Get out.
We don't need to deal with that.
Yep.
We got a guy like this. Yeah.
Yep. It's early in the season, which is great, I think, too, for the Clippers, because you're not trading for him at the deadline.
Yeah.
You have 75 plus games to, like, figure it out, plus playoffs.
Yeah.
With Harden on your team. As for the Sixers, Maxey has looked like an all-star. So the loss that, that has been great.
Yeah.
Embiid is still going to play at an MVP level, but the big thing is they have, I think, nearly 60 to 65 million in cap space next year. And there's some guys. There is a DeMar DeRozan. There's a Malik Monk. There's a Klay Thompson. There's so on and so forth.
Yeah.
There's not like a superstar, but there's going to be pieces that they can sign now. Tobias Harris, they can bring back on a cheaper contract.
Yeah.
So, this season, I like the Sixers a little less because Harden was a good player.
For sure.
But going into next year,
No, the future looks great. You
yeah,
know, they got the cap space is big. They got
yep,
picks now. If
yes,
they want to, draft guys or
yep,
trade them for other pieces,
mm-hmm,
can trade some of the role guys that they got maybe for something here and there. So,
yeah,
yeah, this year going to be a little bit challenging for 76ers do anything, but this might save them in the long run,
yes,
keeping Joel Embiid happy, keeping him maybe a
yes,
76er for the duration of his career now if they can
totally,
bring on another
yep,
solid guy, like a Klay Thompson, Malik Monk, that would be sick. So I
yeah,
mean, great deal as well for the 76ers, honestly,
yeah,
because they were at rock bottom with
totally.
James and had to do something. So
Yeah, and as you said too, like them adding the draft capital essentially lays the groundwork for a skeleton of a separate trade. Like they can now go out and add someone because they have the draft capital to like they've got some firsts that they can toss around. Um I don't know how possible this is and I don't think it'll happen.
yeah.
But the perfect fit, I was thinking about like the perfect person they could trade for. Where I don't think he's available, anything like this. But McCall Bridges out of from Brooklyn,
Yeah.
3 and D, just like him, Maxi, Embiid, and then the role players, they'd still have some money. You could bring Tobias back. You could let him walk and go after a DeRozan.
Yeah.
I really like that trio.
I would
So
yeah.
again, I don't think it's possible. I think Brooklyn is pretty set on keeping him. But if the Nets go near the deadline and they're not good and they're like, man, let's just add some picks, I would like that move for the Sixers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting. The big thing is, will Embiid be satisfied enough to be like, well, wait, next year, like, we'll be able to get some guys you want.
Yeah.
He might be like,
Nah.
no, it's done.
I'm out. I'm requesting
Yeah.
a trade.
Yep. Respectfully, I've loved my time here, but this is my prime. If I don't win one now, I don't know if I will get one. So I think, this move is weird for the Sixers because they had to do it.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I guess we'll see, man.
Um wasn't Covington's coming back too to this, like he's been here, right?
Yes.
This is his
Yep.
second
He
stint.
started with the Sixers, I believe.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it'll be it I think there was no really L's taken in this.
No.
Like not one team won, not one team lost. They both kind of came out and did what they had to do.
Yeah. I think the big thing with the Clippers too is proving that they were willing to take a swing. Maybe Harden doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
And that's a real possibility, and he requests another trade or he's not satisfied, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't gel on the court. But I like them taking a swing because this is it, man.
Yeah.
Like, if this team doesn't win one, it's going to be looked at as a disappointment to pair PG with Kawhi, even though they are so talented.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, we'll have to see.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see them at full strength because that'll be fun. Yeah.
Yes. I think the potential is there for them to be at least 4 in the West.
Yeah. 100%.
I would say at least.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. The West is dangerous, but
it got more dangerous.
Yep.
Dude.
Yep. If the Suns can't stay healthy, if the Lakers can't gel well, the only team I know for certain, like Denver will be there.
Yep.
But the other teams, like the Grizzlies, are probably out of it. Could the Kings beat that Clippers team? I don't know. Could Golden State? But I think the question is, at least there were like a chunk of people would say the Clippers.
Yeah.
So I like the move.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's kind of our quick recap or quick summary of the Harden trade. Any last points that you want to add in?
I don't believe so, other than, as we've noted, I'm excited to see how it plays out. Yeah.
Absolutely. So with that said, song of the pod time. Of course. Couldn't end a vid without it.
Nope.
Mo, what do you got?
To kick off the week, nice little Monday afternoon for y'all, I got Apple Pie by Travis Scott. Classic.
Underrated.
Off of Rodeo. Underrated for sure. Just one of my favorite songs off of Rodeo. Rodeo is one of my favorite albums ever. I could listen to it all day long. Apple Pie, Sleeper. If you haven't listened, check it out. Lots of underrated, as you said.
Yeah. I have November Has Come by Gorillaz featuring MF Doom. One of my favorite songs was a song my dad played all the time when I was a kid. This whole record of Demon Days. But yeah, that I love the song. I love the music video. I love all that. So I'm going to try and keep a theme while we record these videos through November to try and have songs that tie into Thanksgiving and stuff. But I think you and I will both have one in common at some point, at least in November.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. But thank you for tuning in. Let us know what you think of the Harden deal.
Yeah.
Because I'm very curious to hear what people think. We appreciate the love, the ride to 100.
We're close, man. It's been crazy.
Yeah. So thank you. And we will see y'all in the next video.
Later, everyone. See you soon.
Peace.